All right. So you know that song Crocodile Rock?
I love Crocodile Rock.
All right.
Grew up
And
on Crocodile Rock.
and where
Big Elton John guy.
exactly, I'm a huge John guy. Myself. Anyway, I was listening to Crocodile Rock, and I was like, it'd be pretty sick. Remember last time we were like, Andrew, you don't know piano stuff, because I don't. I don't know what B minor scale is.
Mm-mm.
Still don't. But I'm convinced I can learn how to play it, and if I want to learn how to play it, I have to do the part that sounds like a kazoo part. I was like, nah, 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 nah.
So you
but
have to
with
do.
a
You're
kazoo.
saying you have to learn all the instruments. That way, it can do a self-produced Crocodile Rock rendition.
A one-man show, and also probably not all the instruments. I could probably limit myself to maybe 0, 2 at the max.
The
you
piano
know?
part on that one is not very hard. I think it's 4 notes.
It actually a little bit. It's I mean, coming from someone that has no experience with any instruments.
No, what I'm saying is I'm saying muscle memory. You could just teach yourself the
Oh,
four
yeah,
the
da-
four
da-
notes. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
No, but I feel like I would want to at least do Elton John well. I mean, not him well. He's got a husband, but like I'm not trying to sing it. I'm trying to play the instrumental parts, the kazoo and the piano. I don't even know if it's a kazoo. It might just be
How much
his
how
voice.
much was your stainless steel kazoo
I
gonna
haven't
be?
purchased it yet, but I think it was about like $18, maybe 15. It's
All right,
stainless
let's
steel.
talk about relativism here and say that like of all the things you spent way too much money on for no reason, an $18 stainless steel kazoo for you is not that bad.
No.
In principle, if we're going to talk about what it is, a kazoo, and why it needs to be stainless steel for whatever reason, it's not. They're not that bad.
You can switch out the kazoo part, the one that might, get old and dented. Yeah, and I'm buying a fucking kazoo for 15.
Yeah, actually, honestly, you should at that point just get a harmonica.
No, I
think
don't
a
want
harmonica could do everything that kazoo can do.
I have a harmonica. My grandfather played the harmonica. I
I
have a-
said, and more. Are you a harmonica salesman? You're just like, it's like a harmonica can do anything you want. It could do.
as long as you believe. I'm not a kazoo or a harmonica player. I'm trying to learn the piano. Kazoo is the most basic of it. I blow.
How are you learning piano? Do you have?
are
you buying a keyboard or something?
I actually have been looking at buying digital piano, so that way they have like the weight to them.
You're talking about the ones that it's basically just a touchpad.
No. So like, there's a difference between a keyboard and a digital piano. So
Oh,
a digital
yeah.
piano, a regular piano has weighted keys.
Why do you need weighted keys? You don't know how to play.
Because I want it to be as authentic as
No,
possible.
a keyboard will be easier because a weighted keys are like harder to press.
But I want to learn. I want to learn weighted keys.
All right.
I want to. You look at these fingers. They're strong fingers. I rock climb. I could play the piano. Although my muscle memory, No, but it could increase my dexterity, my fingers, and my strength. Why not do both?
That's like a finger workout.
Yeah, it's like bop, 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 Yeah.
He was dripping in sweat.
I'm sorry.
That's
So-
how hard.
so-
that's
so
how hard
let me
he
let me sum
pianoed.
up what Spencer just said. This guy played the piano super well throughout his back doing it, was doing great. Andrew, you could never do that. You want to know the main reason I couldn't do that? I don't play the fucking piano. What is? I don't have talent. I don't know what you want from me. Like, yes, I am not part of the Philharmonic Orchestra. It's why they're only down by 7 right now instead of 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I said believe in LA. LA can win this game.
All right. And that's what I like to call a 4-minute cold open. Welcome,
With someone
everybody.
that's barely on the mic.
Yeah, we can barely hear you too. You were but that's why I kept like repeating what you were saying, like back in and being like, "Oh, that's what you got a harmonica set," like making sure that like I could go ahead and touch on both. Thank you very much for joining us once again for actually the finale of the Bachelorette. Did you? Yeah, Andrew called it last week too.
Yes. Thank you, Spencer. Good night,
Night,
Spencer.
Spencer.
Later. Zach did win.
Zac won.
Although, to be fair, Zach won, and I feel good about me winning. But I don't know what he said.
I think he said Gesundheit.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say
And so Zach did win. I don't feel good about it because, in all honesty, we both wanted to pick Zach, but you picked it out of competition. But in reality, we both knew Zach was going to win, despite
Oh my
Ivan, Ben, who came back this week, and Brennan all being good dudes.
Yeah. It was you know, it's just sort of writing on the wall, right? You look at someone like Zac and you go like, they just had such good chemistry the whole time, and there was really no question about it. I chose Ivan thinking that she might want like that sort of sweet dude or whatever. She didn't. She wanted a bad boy with a drug abuse issue.
A former drug abuse issue.
I'm trying to give him credit. I'm trying to give him some edge.
Oh, I mean, like if he's anything like John Mulaney.
I'm not saying he's an addict currently. I'm just saying that he's got a little bit of a like a razor to him.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if he's anything like I said, like about like John Mulaney, he could be a drug user again.
John Mulaney is the least. When I found out he had a massive coke issue, like because he mentioned
what is he like on coke?
What do you say?
What is he like on coke?
I'm just saying, like he's not anything where of all the people, like the least assuming drug user in the world. Where it's just like, I don't even know I don't know how you could ever have any sort of drug abuse issues at all. But whatever. Hey.
Have you ever met someone like that in real life? Not to get off, we're getting off the Bachelor a little bit, but to
it's the Reality Wagon podcast. We get off the Bachelorette.
Exactly. So have you ever met someone like that in real life? Because I have a friend like that where like straight A student all throughout high school, never did anything wrong, perfect, and then I come to find he's still like got a great job and all that stuff, but just does a ton of like DMT on the weekends, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
but he has like a high finance job.
Those are some of the most fun people in the world. They can separate work and play, but they do both super hard.
I guess, yeah. It was just but he said that's the only thing he does. I'm like, you only do DMT? He goes, yeah, I just do it a couple times a weekend. And I'm like, a couple?
Just keeps me centered.
I guess, like, my Lord, man.
Yeah. So,
respect.
You know what? I don't even know. Listen, I don't even know if I like the Bachelorette, but I think we'll get there towards the end of this when we sort of do like our recap, roundup, whatever. What they were really fucking me up with this whole season, and like I didn't know this was a thing. 2 hours twice a week is a pain in the ass. And that's a lot of content.
Yeah, for the last 2 weeks especially.
Yeah, when they just doubled up on those Monday and Tuesday episodes, those are tough, dude.
I understand it though. Like you kind of have to.
They had a lot to cram in and shit, but still, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, okay.
I think
I have to watch it on Monday. I was telling you I was not excited because I didn't even know they were going to do a double episode this week.
Yeah.
So I was like watching. I was getting ready to watch football, indulging in some behaviors, and then I saw on whatever Twitter, and they were like, Bachelorette starting in 25 minutes. I was like, 25 what?
Hello? No. Yeah, I get that. Not 25 hours. I was kind of the same way where I think I texted you about it, and I ended up not even watching it last night. I watched it today.
Yeah.
Like after work, I was like, all right, I'll give it a good rundown. Or I watched some of it and I texted you, but yeah, I think they could make it 1 3-hour long episode, but for viewers, 3 hours is too long. You have to make a show can't be more than 2 hours.
Yeah, you have to top out at 2. You have to. I can't sit down for 3 hours straight and do anything.
We can't even really get through an episode without going off on multiple tangents.
No, yeah, when we do our own thing, we pause, watch the video of Anderson Cooper and Donald Sterling talking after
the Magic Johnson
thing. That's a super rare reference that literally no one who ever listened to this podcast just for reality TV purposes would never see. Never understand. But
it's also like a 10-year, 12-year-old reference.
Was it that long ago? It probably was.
It must have been.
It's completely irrelevant. But we go off on tangents. We can't get through a full 2-hour episode on our own anyway. And if you think we watch every minute of every episode, you're sadly mistaken because that's not happening either. But yeah. So we got the fantasy suite stuff they did yesterday. So they did it on Monday.
Yes.
That was interesting. At that point in time, we had Ivan, we had Zac.
Yes. Third one. Come on. You know
we
this.
had Brendan too. And I knew all those off the top of my head.
My Lord.
Ivan goes, and they go and they do the world's. I hate this so much. I hate this so much. They do the world's longest, coldest kiss.
Yes.
Which is. It's impossible. It's a logical impossibility.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound like a huge nerd here as I try to explain this and break this down. But that's whatever. You can nerd shame me all you want, because here's what I'll say is that you can't have 2 superlative things. You can't set a record. You can't double up on superlatives when you're talking about a record.
Yes.
It's always like world's longest beard or like world's smallest balls. I don't mean to mention your record on camera.
I'm proud of it. It makes everything else look bigger.
Yep. The
Small hands.
the thing with the what'd you say?
Small hands.
Small hands. The for the Bachelorette, they were trying to set the record for the world. Like Ivan and Tayshia were trying to set the record for the world's longest, coldest kiss. It's either the world's longest kiss in a cold environment, which is all relative. Cold is relative, right?
See, I was talking about this today. Yes, it is.
Cold is a relative term. It's cold outside, right?
Baby,
The longest, coldest
outside.
kiss, probably the coldest kiss probably took place like in like whatever, like one of those cold chambers.
Or Antarctica. Oh, that too, yeah.
Or just like somewhere
Yeah.
like if they wanted to set the record for the world's coldest kiss, they could have done it in a much colder environment than an ice bath in the middle of the Mojave
in
Desert.
the middle of a 70-degree,
Yeah.
80-degree day. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it was real miserable. Also, it wasn't the world's longest kiss either, because the world's longest kiss is probably like many hours, maybe a day,
I have to look that up because
because they have to like eat food and stuff.
they don't have to, you know.
I mean, they don't. They have to drink water.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
You
I'm
only
gonna
got, like,
all right, longest kiss. What's your estimation? What do you
Longest
think?
kiss, I'll go 26 hours.
32 hours, 7 minutes, and 14 seconds.
Okay, so they didn't even come close because they kissed for like 5 minutes.
Not even. Yeah, I think
It was like
It-
5 minutes and 15 seconds or some shit.
they could have done something like longest kiss in an ice bath, something like
Yeah.
that. But you can't, like you saying.
An ice bath isn't the coldest environment in the world. Therefore, it cannot be the longest, coldest kiss.
Yeah, because all those things like fastest, bestest, those superlatives are all absolutes.
Yes.
You can't have two absolutes.
No.
No, it just makes no sense.
Not unless you're breaking both conditions of the absolute.
Exactly. Yeah.
It has to be-
Which they were.
It has to be the coldest place where you kiss for the longest amount of time in the coldest place.
Yes.
It's fucking dumb.
Which just makes it two separate records.
But after they were done with that, they were like, we can do this. We can take over the world. There's nothing we can't do. We run this shit.
Except be engaged.
Yeah, except they don't run this shit. And I personally, I just hate that sort of sentiment where it's like we can take over the world. It's like, Tayshia, I love you. I love you. I love you. I do mean it, and I'll say it. Ben couldn't say it to you. I'll say it to you first. I'll say it to you on first meeting. I'm in love with you. But what I also will say is that it's super corny and very delusional. I doubt you can actually take over the world. I hate to say it like that. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah, you can't take over
when
the
you just
world.
say like, oh yeah, like we could do anything. It's like, no, I mean, there's limits to all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think people
There's
say
limits.
People say it in slight jest. You know, where
Oh,
they're
I don't.
like,
I don't think it's even in jest. I don't know if they were saying it in jest, but they definitely weren't saying it like in.
you don't think they were saying like for fun? I don't like
No.
the saying.
No, I think they genuinely looked in each other's eyes and they were like, "We can do anything." And it's like, I mean, yeah, I guess you could do anything, but you know, whatever. Listen, I'm not gonna go ahead and shit on their relationship and their dynamic or their lack of a relationship and now their lack of a dynamic, but they went to the fantasy suite.
They
We
did.
can presume that they may have banged.
Yeah,
Maybe.
possibly.
I don't know. They said they stayed up like all night, like watching the stars and watching the sunrise or something. And I was like, that could be code.
It could be code. It could also just mean because at that point she could have already decided I don't want to be with him.
Is it you were taking a fine lass home from the bar and watched the sunrise?
Yeah, a wink. I mean, that's also an excuse I've heard some people use, where it's like instead of like having sex. This even was a scene in New Girl, I think. Whenever she went home with someone she didn't want to sleep with, so she sang throughout the night until they both were tired and fell asleep. I've heard of some people doing that, where like they go home and they're too. I always respect. Nah, I'm just gonna leave. But some people don't want to do that, so they just are like, oh, let's watch the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. Wow, so we don't have to go to bed, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
never in my life have I experienced that.
Yeah. Yeah. So they go ahead and they may have banged. Ivan and Tayshia may have banged, but nothing matters now because Ivan's out the picture. Zac and Tayshia went on their solo date thing, their fantasy suite date.
Yes, that was.
They painted each other's bodies and then rolled around on a canvas. And
How'd that make you feel inside or outside?
it made me feel made me feel feelings, and I had to take a couple moments of breather. And I think for me, actually, no, it wasn't that point in time, but that was the part where I was like, oh God, like she's actually about to do this. Like she's actually going to get married to somebody else.
No.
Which sounds really bad because it sounds like I'm sitting here trying to scheme, and I'm not. I'm just saying if Tayshia were to ever come on the market again and have anything that be interested in a 23-year-old part-time podcaster, part-time auditor.
I mean, technically full-time.
I am a full-time auditor, and I love my job.
Yes.
And I also like podcasting. But I'm a sweetheart. Honestly, Tayshia, if you got to know me, I think we'd hit it off all right. I'm lacking. I feel like I'm lacking charisma today.
Just today?
Help me out here. I think I'm lacking charisma at this current moment. I think I'm missing some of that juice.
Some of that, excitement you got in your voice? I don't
Yeah.
think so. I think maybe a little bit, but
I don't know. I just feel super monotone. I don't even feel like I could put together like funniness.
I think it's probably because you're letting Tayshia go. You have to let her go now.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's weighing on me a little.
I feel like that was a genuine statement from you, but I know it probably shouldn't be, and I'm concerned for your well-being.
No, it's fine. I'm happy for Tayshia. I'm happy for Zac. I'm glad she found somebody. I just hope that it doesn't work out. I can go.
Statistically speaking, it didn't work out the first time for either of them, and statistically speaking, it doesn't work out for most people,
right?
On the Bachelorette or the Bachelor.
Because the concept of the Bachelorette is that you spend enough time with somebody and you get married. You get engaged like within like it has to be like 4 weeks. 5 weeks.
Is it in a contract?
I don't. What do you mean?
You mean okay?
I'm saying.
Sorry,
the whole concept of the show moves very fast. Where like you could be dating someone for 3 years and realize I don't want to get engaged to this person.
That's correct. Yeah.
You could be dating someone for however long and be madly in love with them, fall out of love with them, and then whatever.
Yes, I agree.
That was probably a smart idea.
Yeah, honestly, I kept looking over. It's halftime. I'm like,
all I'm doing is staring at the TV.
I saw that. I'm like,
yep,
bruh.
Yep. I usually just stare at the little
Naked Brothers band.
No, the dolls you have up on the thing there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I just stare at the
KY jelly.
No, someone mentioned the KY jelly up there.
Have you never noticed that before?
No, I did. There's another kid, Andrew, who came over.
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, is that the kid's house who had the KY jelly on the thing?" And I was like, "Probably." He has a lot on the mantle. There's a lot going on that mantle.
That is a 4-year-old KY jelly. We found it. Someone just one day brought it to our apartment when we were living in like an 8-man apartment. And we just kept, and we're like, whose is this? And no one took it. So we're like, we're just putting it up on the mantle. And then we took it here.
Memorialized forever.
It is. Wouldn't recommend using it.
Why?
I think lube goes bad.
Oh, you're talking about just that one. And I was like, just not using lube in general. And I was like, that's a weird sort of.
No. Because KY is okay with me.
That's a weird declarative statement.
I sponsor KY.
Yeah, honestly, KY jelly, if you're out there and you're looking for a couple of strapping young lads.
Strapping. I like it.
Strapping was a word that I used on purpose, and it's something where like I would go ahead and I'd sponsor your jelly,
or Adam and Eve too. Hit me up,
literally anything. I would sell my soul for way less than you think. I mean it.
He means it. He's telling the truth.
I am. The Zac. So they painted their bodies or whatever. They were hitting it off. It was super hot. They were all by the end of it, they were both all purple. I was like, oh, I'm really glad. Because usually when you mix all the colors together, it just makes like a gross, like brownish, blackish.
Yeah.
This color looked purple somehow. I don't know how they made all the combinations of colors look like purple, but it came out awesome. It was super hot. Tayshia looked fabulous.
Yes.
And then they likely banged.
They were jumping on the bed afterwards the next morning. I will also say, if you ever haven't done it, I highly recommend playing Paint Twister. Really enjoyed my time doing it.
All right, I'll add it to the list. I have to go ahead and
get friends.
Friends, preferably female friends.
Yeah, I my group was half and half, so it was good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it with all male cast.
No, that's not fun for me.
You can dress men up as women.
That works.
It's like a Greek tragedy play back in like the old times.
Yeah.
All men.
Mm-hmm.
So is it?
Because you can't trust a woman to do a woman's job.
No.
We'd prefer the men dress up as women because they could do it better.
Exactly. Oh, kissing men on stage. I know I could do that better than
Oh,
women.
absolutely.
Oh yeah. So that happened after they most likely banged. Then I believe it ended pretty much right after that. Went straight into Brendan's, right?
Yeah, so like she came back and Brendan was all nervous. They edited Brendan yesterday in the episode, so he was super
That's what
like
it was.
every time like someone would go, he'd be like, "Man, I really wish I was going on the first date or whatever." And then it was Ivan, and then he'd be like, "Oh man, at least maybe I'll get the second date." And then it was Zach, and then he came back and was like, "Well, I mean, I guess I could still get to see her or whatever." And then his date was literally just to go shopping for like engagement rings and
Yeah,
like
the
like
most
jewelry
intense.
and stuff. And the dude looked, he was so psyched out. I felt so bad for him. But the look that I could only describe on his face was that he looked like someone who was like actually being like handed the bill at the end of this. As Tayshia's like, "I love these earrings," and Neil Lane's like a woman can never have too many diamonds, and she looks at Zach and she's like, "Woman can never have too many diamonds," and he's like, "Well, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this because like I'm not paying for any of this."
He was showing the symptoms I've seen in friends before, and like just people I've known where it's like a relationship you can't be a part of or you wish you're a part of, and it's almost like an unspoken jealousy he was doing because he was asking the other guys and like showing off, like, or not showing off, but like giving off that vibe where he's like, oh, it feels weird that Tay's going on all these dates. And it's like if I really liked, like if I was infatuated with a friend or someone I know and I saw her going on dates,
Yeah.
and I'm talking with like a dude she's going on a date with, I'm like, oh, like what'd you guys do?
Like, just like, I'm gonna absolutely decimate her holes.
Yeah, like it's basically like he was trying to inquire as to like their relationship, how it's going, and with him, and then
he's like, I don't want to. He was even saying, he's like, I don't want to ask any questions because I don't want to know any answers. And I was like, oh my god, buddy, dude, trust me, we've been there. like just the fewer questions, the better. I don't need anything answered. I don't need to know any details.
Exactly, and I feel like that's ultimately what made his decision for him to step off the show because it just seemed like he just wasn't ready.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for the guy, but it's good that he made the decision and he didn't step into something. I mean, that's basically been like kind of the theme of a lot of these people is that Tayshia, Zac, like early on in their life, made a choice of love and they kind of fell.
And Brendan too. Brendan was married.
Brendan
divorced.
was also
Zach was married. Divorced.
So
Tayshia
I think
married,
he's
divorced.
good that he didn't go through with it, so he could find someone like take his time.
It was a mature move.
It was equivalent to who was the guy earlier on Jason. It was one of probably the top 3 mature moves of the season.
Yeah, it was a very smart, mature move. And listen, give him credit where credit's due because it's I probably like listen. I sit here and I go like I could probably get married to Tayshia, dude. I'm not getting married to anything or anybody or any not for a long time, right?
Yeah, I'd get engaged.
No, I mean that's no fun either.
No. What I mean is like
I mean all of it's really no fun.
Oh no, sorry. I mean like in a while. You know what I mean? Like probably like 28 is when maybe I think that's probably the youngest I'd get engaged. But there are people in my life, like we've talked about even like on this podcast, where it's like if someone asked me tomorrow, I'd be like, I mean, I'll give it a shot. We'll see.
You see if just anybody or if
not anybody.
Oh,
like there's a specific like set or person where like if they ask, I'd be like,
yeah. No, I have those same.
We've like those loves where you're like, fuck, I really wish I could have seen that through, or wish there was an opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't know what, dude. That's also been something I've been thinking about like within the last like month and a half. I don't know why.
What?
Like just I think it's probably the Bachelorette effect. Just think about like, oh man, like there's someone in my life I wish I could have like given a shot.
Like love lost.
Not even.
That's extremely depressing.
It's not. No, I mean they didn't die. I mean
that's not what love lost means.
What's love lost mean? Like I didn't assume.
Love lost is like love past. Like I coulda, woulda, shoulda missed the opportunity.
Oh no, it wasn't even like the opportunity was there. I mean, like it just circumstantially, it just would have never in a million years worked out. Especially for me as a person, I know I could never do the relationship that would be required for it. So I don't know. I just I couldn't do it. But it's one of those things where I'm like, it's just recently because of the Bachelorette and probably like all the other things happening.
Bachelorette is
it's screwing up my mental,
it's
man.
Fucking with me mentally so hard. I think I don't know. All right, I don't know why girls like the show so much. I think girls like the show because they can try and put themselves into a role where they're finding like a Prince Charming type situation and seeing all the dudes and being like, oh, these are all suitable bachelors. I'll go ahead and tell you where my head's at during all this bullshit.
Mhm.
when I'm watching the show is that I'm not as good as any of these dudes. I'm not as good as the worst dude on this show.
Not physically, but mentally. I feel like I feel like both of us are mature enough to where like some of these guys I'm like, how'd you make it through life
By
doing
looking
that?
like fucking
No,
Adonises.
no, I know, but what I'm saying is,
Adonises.
when I think of it, I go, well, actually, they're looking like Adonises, but they're on this show trying to find love, which is in itself like not a desperation move, but it's kind of like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
I don't know. I just sit there and I go like, okay, so I'm not as good as any of these dudes, right? And then I go and I just sit there and I'm like, well, I mean, I think girls like the show because they can go ahead and imagine themselves being like courted in some sort of way like that
I guess, yeah.
by like a whole bunch of dudes or whatever. I've never been courted by that many women at one given point in time, so I can't even put myself in the shoes of like the Bachelor.
Oh, true.
I don't even know what that's fucking like.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird watching that.
It's
honestly.
gonna be very weird. We are watching the Bachelor. We have like a week off. Thank Christ.
Oh man,
Dude, I need that week off so bad. It might even be 2.
I think it's just about 2. I think
It's
it
the
starts on
4th.
the 4th.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's the Monday or the Tuesday.
It's like 12 days
That's fine.
or 13 days. Yeah.
That's whatever. It's fine. We'll take 2 weeks off. Thank God. Dude, I just don't.
Yeah, I need this break. Oh, that was the other thing that I need to talk to you about after this
Long on.
podcast is the podcast city I sent to you
Yeah.
because
Has some other podcast concepts cooking up, whipping
Yeah.
up in the kitchen.
mainly just because I feel like it's something I need. But
Catharsis. It'll be catharsis.
yes, and accountability for myself.
Yeah, I could use this like a
Like I have
audio
to
journal.
do this. Yeah, exactly. All right, but that's
We'll flesh out those details afterwards. Brendan was super freaked out. Brendan left. He just said, "Hey, I'm leaving." At the end of that episode, Ben comes in, boom, from the clouds. Ben. The show ends with Ben just kind of chilling there.
yeah, I think they're holding hands, and he's like, "I need to tell you something," and it just fades.
Yeah, I think and then it just fades out.
Yeah, and that's where it picks up on the first episode.
Today's episode. Ben goes, "Tayshia, I love you. I meant to say this before. I can't believe I left without telling you. I told everyone but you," which is the truth. He told a lot of people, just not her. He's like, "I've never felt this way. And it was so hard for me to get to this point with you." Tayshia goes, "All right." He goes, "Okay. Can I hug you?" She's like, she didn't say anything. They hold hands or whatever. They hug outside on the porch. They're about to walk away. Tayshia grabs his hand, pulls him back in, and that's the moment where it was like a punch in the gut.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like,
That
oh.
one hurt me really hard because I love Tayshia so much, and I just want that sort of passion and attention.
I just want that passion or attention.
At this point, I don't know how picky we can be.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah.
So, something else happened in that conversation that I felt is something I personally would address was,
What happened?
oh, it's nothing big. It was nothing major. Whenever he was telling her, I told everyone else but you. That was the first thing of the two things I'm going to say, which in all reality kind of ends up happening a lot of the time, where I would tell people, hey, I'm in love with this woman or something, and I'll try and like have other people talk me up for, I've haven't done that in a while because I've been confident enough to just be like, if I don't say it,
Like the love word?
not love. Sorry. Like,
Because I was going to say, that's only been said once, and that was just between me and
I've
her.
only said that once too, but sorry. What I mean to say is like I don't typically do this anymore. It's like more like early college, like or high school.
Oh,
Whenever
yeah, no,
I was
no.
trying, I would tell
I love
other
doing that.
people.
I still fucking do that. No, you plant seeds. You let
So you
people
have
know-
to do it. Yeah.
You let people know where your head's at. That way, people can go ahead and try and boost you up on the back end.
Yeah.
If I go ahead and I'm trying to like, whatever, make any sort of move with a girl, and I'm around a whole bunch of like my friends or whatever, or she has some of her friends around or whatever, it's important. I think it helps. It helps for her friends to know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a boost. So her being surprised at that was a little bit weird. I guess with love, it's different. The environment there and it was different. But just to say that
Also,
that was
the
the
fact
thing.
that he's only interacted with like 3 people outside of her.
Exactly.
That's the one thing about the bad. Like he's been in basically social isolation with just him and her the whole time.
It's Stockholm syndrome. Is what
Yeah.
it is. And the other thing was whenever she was using that to justify, well, what if we have a future and you can't tell me so? I'm like, telling someone you love them for the first time is different than some other things I feel like you would say. If you're like, well, what if you can't tell me something in the future? It's like, I mean, love and getting over that initial barrier is like the biggest hurdle, and the rest is easy. You know what I mean? Unless you're like, hey, I cheated on you, which don't do that ever.
Yeah, don't.
Especially not on Tayshia, and I don't recommend it.
If you cheat on Tayshia, you and I, buddy, pal,
Zac.
I hope you're watching. Not even Zac, anyone in the future, because we know that will end in divorce, statistically speaking.
Statistically speaking, yes.
Statistically speaking, Zac and Tayshia, you will not survive, but that's okay because you shared love in the moment that you had it. If any of you ever cheat on Tayshia, if any of you guys cheat on Tayshia, I swear to God,
cheat on Tayshia.
You and I are going to have issues. You will be my mortal enemy, and it'll be my job to send you towards eternal salvation, to bury you in the dirt.
Yes.
I'll send you to the Lord. I love that phrase so much.
I'll send you to the Lord.
I'll put you in concrete. I'll send you to the Lord.
But those are only two things.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was fine with the whole interaction. I thought it was good that Ben came back. Since Brendan left, Ivan was asked to leave at the rose ceremony, which also happened later on in the episode.
Yeah, so like Ivan and Zac are standing there, and they're both feeling good because they're two roses. They know Brendan isn't there, and then like Ben walks around the corner. He's like, "Hey, what's up, pals?
What's up, man?" I know they were like, "Oh God,"
they were like, "Oh God," and then Tayshia pulls Ivan aside and says, "Like, it's not gonna work. Have you seen his collarbones?
I know
it's not gonna work." She cuts Ivan loose. Ivan says, like, I think he even said, does he say it to Tayshia? Or he says it in a DR or whatever. And he's like, I don't think she'll ever find love. I was like, oh.
I don't think he said that.
Nope.
I hope not.
That's a quote. We both missed it. I saw it on Twitter.
Oh.
I don't think he said it to her. He might have said it in DR. And he's like, I don't know if she'll ever find love.
Okay. A little petty.
Little bit.
I get it, though.
Can you blame him?
No.
He's literally standing there in the final two, expected to go to the next step, and he had a good thing. And she gave him no impression that they weren't working out.
Yeah, no, never. So
I mean, fuck it.
He did get the. Like,
is he a little bitter? Yeah, sure. But I mean,
he got it swept out from under him a little bit.
He got sort of blindsided by Ben, but whatever. Yeah.
So that happens. No rose ceremony.
No rose ceremony. There was no need for it because there was only two guys left, and there's two roses or whatever, and they do whatever. The next 45 minutes, very strange because all we get is it's literally just Zac.
Well, hold on. Oh, after that actually comes a little bit later because
they meet the parents.
So this is the funny way they did it, right? So Ben meets the parents first, right?
Yeah.
Actually, pretty standard impression stuff. It was definitely forced, felt weird, whatever. That's how it typically goes. Tayshia's family looking good. Tayshia's
family, all the children, beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
Even the parents, very attractive parents.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Just a very, very attractive family. Very young parents. Very young parents.
They did look like they were trying to convert me, though. Like the clothing they were wearing, very white, bright. Like, hey,
really? I didn't notice. Their attire.
I think it was the dad, the mom, and like the very young kid. The one that wasn't wearing white, I think was the older one.
Cult attire,
purple
Nikes,
like very standard white shirts, khakis, and I'm like, oh, it's one of those. Like, hey, knock knock, you got time for the Lord?
Knock knock.
And so that happens. Ben goes first. I know it is because then goes into what you were saying. Zac then meets the parents. I think does a slightly better job. Basically, same forcing.
Sort of marginal toss up.
45 minutes of basically just Zac.
Yeah, we don't see Ben for multiple commercial breaks.
Yeah, it must have been at least two, maybe three.
So Zac and her go dancing. They go do a dance class or something. I'll say it. I'm a man. I'm very comfortable in my sexuality. The male dance teacher had some fucking cheeks, bro.
Bro, he got a wagon.
Dude, he was double cheeked up on a Tuesday night. Impossible to miss, dude. He was.
They framed it so perfectly.
Absolutely double cheeked up, and I mean, good for him. I think it's all the dancing.
Oh, for sure.
Is dancing good for the butt?
Oh, yes.
It's good glute exercise.
Yes, that and cheerleading and gymnastics, anything where you're actively jumping up or moving around on your legs. Yes, it makes your cheeks explode.
I'll do more jumping jacks then, or I'll just cheerlead.
Yeah, actually, I thought about being a yell leader for a little while.
Yeah,
Although then I was like, there's no other male at my high school.
But
It wasn't big at my high school. In fact, my high school had like a dance team that was our actual cheerleaders, and then separate cheerleaders that. My school broke it up in a weird way.
we had a dance team. No, we didn't have a dance team. We had the cheerleaders who did all the stuff. So we had cheerleaders that would do like football, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had like a smaller group of those cheerleaders that would do basketball.
Okay. So we had like an opposite thing. We had cheerleaders for football, but then we also had the big, like, I'm talking 80 high school girls, like, doing these, like, basically how you see bands doing routines. Like, they would do those.
Like color guard. They have flags and stuff.
No. Like they were like pom-poms and stuff, but they weren't cheerleaders.
Huh.
They were like, I think what they're called is like Southern Belles.
Huh. Were they hot? All 80 of them?
No. Although I did know some of them. They're all very kind.
It was a joke. You didn't have to answer that at all. That was me being that's why I bailed you out. I was like, were they hot? Like all 80 of them, every single one of them? And you were like, and you were like, actually no, some of them were quite ugly.
I never said that.
Some of them incredibly ugly, great personalities probably.
I mean, some of them probably because I was not this hunk of man I was back then, and some of them were strong enough to
probably in your league
beat
back
my
then.
ass.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, honestly. No one was in my league in high school. I was in my own league of my own, is what I like to call it.
Yeah, a basement dweller.
Yeah, 20,000 feet under the sea, all that stuff. So that was something that was weird about that. But yeah, that gets you cheeks, dancing, cheer, all that stuff. But I gotta say, the 45 minutes Zach was okay. But we kind of figured halfway through we're like, he's edited to win.
That dance routine was like. That was that. I think I had in my notes that. Yeah, the dance routine. They were like struggling with it for a little bit. Tayshia was really in her head or whatever. I felt horrible for her, and I would have given her the biggest hug if I was there with her.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, loving hug.
Very much so. That when they nailed the dance routine at the end, I'm not gonna lie. That's the moment that my heart just fell through my chest. Because it was like, it's the exact moment that I realized that she was gonna go ahead and
marry someone
Zac,
else,
and it wasn't going to work out between her and I at this very moment. And it makes me regret turning down my offer to be on the Bachelorette this season a little bit because I just wanted to get to know her.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be back. I'll be back next year
Nice.
if everything goes right. I'm still in negotiations with ABC.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
You could also just take a step up and be the Bachelor.
That's not how that works.
What are you talking about?
That's not how the show works.
Why?
You have to be on the Bachelorette before you're on the Bachelor.
Is that
Yes.
actually true?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Tayshia
was on it before.
No. She was on The Bachelor. Now she's the Bachelorette.
Right.
What I'm saying is, can you not just go on the show and just be the Bachelor or the Bachelorette? No.
They pull you from a previous cast.
So you always have to be in like the trial.
You have to be in the group, and then elevate yourself to a level where people liked you on the show. Maybe you didn't win. Maybe you did win, and it didn't work out or whatever. So you come back or something. Usually, someone in the top 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ends up going and winning the show, or not winning the show, but being the Bachelor the next time around.
Yeah. All right, that's interesting. I did not.
So we can even make our predictions for this season of who we think is going to be the Bachelor the next time around.
Ooh, yeah, we could.
Let's just take a couple random shots. Who do we think?
It's not. I just know it's not going to be Bennett or Noah.
It won't be Bennett. It won't be Noah.
It'll genuinely. It could be Brendan if he ever feels he's ready, but I don't think they're going to take that risk. I think that's too big of a risk.
Yeah, I think Brendan would be a little risky.
I think Ben.
Honestly, yeah.
Out of everyone, he seemed like
or Ivan.
Ivan, I don't think that
Seems
would be
a
the
little
direction.
maybe too passive.
Yeah, exactly. I think Ben is honestly the biggest one for me. That and possibly
Dale. The return of Dale.
Yeah, the return of Dale post Claire.
Oh my God! So and you can even go back to the tape and go back to the record or whatever. I thought Claire was. That's before I knew who Tayshia was.
You can still find someone attractive after seeing someone who's also
What
attractive.
I'm saying is, if I were Dale, sounds bad, but I probably would have held out had I known, even though the show wouldn't have ended.
Yeah.
He never would have. There's no way that Dale meets Tayshia.
No, because
unless Claire falls in love with someone not Dale.
yeah, and that
And
just
then-
wasn't gonna
then
happen.
Dale stays in the thing.
This is why we had a Dale tier and an almost Dale tier because
Dale is God tier.
If you're looking for someone on the Bachelorette, I mean, he was the person.
He is.
He had his
Was.
faults. He had his not quick wits about him.
Dale wasn't a smart fellow. He dressed up as a taco, or not taco. What was he dressed up as? He dressed up. He
Ton of
was
things,
dressed
right?
like a he had like a sombrero and a poncho and stuff on. Oh, and then the dog costume was a taco. Yeah, he Dale did some Party City modeling for Halloween costumes.
Yeah, I still love looking at those sometimes.
So funny. So we got Zac, Tayshia.
Pretty much goes into just then her going over to see Ben, right?
She cuts him loose. She just says like, "Hey,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's not gonna work." If I were Ben, I'd be fucking pissed,
bro,
dude.
she just like swallowed your tongue like the
Not
last 2
well,
days ago.
that, and then also like, okay, you go ahead and you swallow all the pride and say, "Okay, I'm gonna come back because I love you, and we're gonna go ahead and figure this out."
Is that a pride thing?
Well, he swallowed his pride and had to like suck it up and come back. He could have kept it to himself.
That's not really but
I think it is.
everyone else already knew. You know what I mean?
No, but he could have just been like,
I think it was
"Fuck it,
closure.
I missed the opportunity." He came back and he was trying to like save himself with it, and he comes out. He goes ahead and I mean not swallows his pride, but he goes and he's able to muster up the courage to come out and say what's on his mind, something he wasn't able to say to her face, and then she goes ahead and goes, "Okay, great, love that." Tongue City. After that, a couple days later, or even that night, she saves him. The next day or whatever, she saves him. He gets to stay, and then she goes and has to cut him. And obviously, you can't just string someone along to the end if you're not going to get married to him. But you know what I mean? Is that like I feel bad as shit for Ben,
Yeah.
because like you just opened up. And you just made yourself vulnerable, which is exactly what you wanted to do and what she wanted from you. And then, shit just doesn't work out like that all the time. You never win.
I think that's just the thing. I don't know what that weird sound is, but oh, that was you. I was like, what?
It's my shoe on the table.
No, you're fine with it. I was curious. I think, but that happens. The thing I always try and do with the show, which is it's not exactly one for one, is try and look at it in a real world
You
context.
contextualize it, yeah.
It's try to contextualize it because that's all I know. That's all I've seen.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know. I could see I've seen this happen before where someone goes, "I'm deeply in love with you," and then it's just such an in the moment that not even it doesn't have to be like a loving emotion. Any heightened like emotion, it's almost like it's a fight or flight type thing people do, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay here. I feel this way, or I don't feel this way." It's like when people see red, people are super depressed. Like there's always that heightened state. Whereas if you get over it, you then have that moment of clarity. I just think.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what she did. Where in the moment she's like, "I want to passionately kiss this man," and we've all probably succumbed to impulses like that before. Yeah, where then you're like, that was not, yeah.
Yeah.
One of
A
those.
lot of late night texts that
Did not pan out.
wish could be unsent.
Yes, agreed. And so I feel like that's what happened to her in the moment. She just got caught up.
Yeah. No, my one thing is that I think that just like the whole love aspect, if we're gonna talk about like emotions and stuff like that, it's the one thing where like I would probably avoid. I try and avoid it as much as I can.
What, love?
Touching the subject, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it's not real and it hasn't been.
It has to be. Oh Lord.
I'm not gonna ever say it if I don't mean it.
No. Yeah.
So like
that's
I'm
the
not
thing.
even gonna. I in a way like probably don't even show it if I don't mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
get that.
I'm a pretty easy read. I wear a lot of my shit like on the sleeve.
Oh yeah.
So like I think
we both are. We
I think people
both
can-
are
I think
pretty
peop-
honest.
Yeah, I think girls can tell when I'm like. I think a girl would be able to tell if I was in love with them.
I'm almost positive if I was in love with someone, I would tell them. I'm almost positive I didn't want to see him anymore. I've told them that before. Not in that manner. Not in that manner. I'm much nicer when it comes to that. But
What did you say? I love you when I don't want to see you anymore.
no. I think what I was saying is like it's where we wear our heart on our sleeves and we
Yeah.
wear everything on our sleeves. Where it's
Right.
like if I'm in love with someone, I will tell someone. If I'm not in love with someone and I know I won't be, I'm I'm pretty keen. I don't like dating someone and not feeling like I could spend the rest of my life with someone, because I've done that before where I've dated someone. I go, this is just purely like an in the moment like thing I'm living. And a few of my girlfriends have, like my first real girlfriend, I'm like, maybe I could see this working out long term. I love her and stuff. The rest have kind of been like, oh, I thought in the moment, I was like, it was a heightened response. Where I could see my life with them, and then a week later, I'm like, no. But I try and I'm like, maybe there's something there, you know? What?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just being honest because I know none of my exes will be listening to this and probably don't want to be listening to me talk. So,
yeah,
no, I get that. So that's my emotion with that's my thing with it. Yep. And but luckily we got that a little bit in this, so it's nice to like at least contextualize and think of it that way.
Yeah.
But it ends up with a happy ending to the Bachelorette series, which is nice.
Happy ending. Zac, Tayshia, happily ever after for now. Tayshia, I'll see you in about 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get my body right, once I get my backstory right, once I get my drug issue that I overcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's coming. That's coming
Yes.
soon. Listen, it's really only a matter of time.
Yeah.
I need a little more tragedy in my backstory. Listen, my backstory ain't great, but it's usually great. It's usually not great by my own doing. I need like something bad to happen to me.
You need a traumatic event
to really drum up the drama. That way I can get on like Bachelorette or Big Brother or Survivor or wherever I want to be. In order to achieve my dreams and goals, I need more abs and I need more sadness.
You could always try lying.
About my abs? They're going to see those.
When I said lying, I didn't mean a thing they can visually confirm.
Well, I don't want to lie. I'm a very truthful person. I think it'd be bad to lie on reality TV. I think it'd be a terrible thing to do.
Terrible thing. It's not like we literally went through a whole season where people
just lie nonstop.
It's hard to lie about your life in a convincing way because then you got to manage all of the. That's another reason I don't do it, is because
lying is
trying
exhausting.
to manage all those lies.
It's exhausting.
Oh.
I gave up. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna lie? I'd rather just be me. You know what I mean?
I don't like the way your pasta is sitting in my mouth. I'm gonna spit it out and I'm gonna say, "This is gross. Make it the way I like it, Mom." No, I'm just kidding.
Weird pointed attack at your mother.
Never mind. I don't even think I've ever seen my mom make pasta.
1-2 punch at your mother.
I don't even think I've seen my mom make pasta, but
you were working your way down to that somehow.
I was trying to imagine someone I care about, and I'm like, I love my mom.
I thought you were gonna take a dig at me because I make pasta. And
I was
thought
going
that's where
to.
it was gonna happen. And I was like, I've never made you pasta before.
No, you haven't. So that was the thing, and my mom's never made pasta. Also, taking a dig at you is just. It's too easy, and you're on a good streak right now.
Low hanging fruit. I'm hot. I'm hot again.
That's what I'm saying. I
don't
don't need to stop this right now.
We're back. I can go ahead and lament all my whatever romantic woes or whatever. I don't fucking care. We're
going on a ski trip. So
going on a ski trip. There's an Applebee's that's open till midnight on New Year's Eve.
Where we're going, yes.
In the ski town we're gonna be in.
Is it open until 12 or 1?
Whatever. If it's open till 12, they're not gonna kick us out at 11:59.
They might.
No, they won't. There's another one that's open till 1. I think the Chili's is open till 1. So either way,
Chili's.
we're getting fucking mozzarella sticks.
Yes.
We're getting some chos. We're getting some nachos. It's gonna be awesome.
I cannot wait, honestly.
Dude, me neither.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all we got for the show. You know what I mean? There's like not that. For fucking 4 hours of content over the past 2 days, I absorbed very little of it.
It's not even that. I mean, is that, but it's also the fact that most of them, if you like, they all go through standard conversations. None of them really like spark a ton of interest. It's more like, what's the event they did, the significance of it. Did they have any drama? I mean, it was
almost no drama.
It's boilerplate.
There was almost no drama.
There's no drama past like top 5, top 6, because they're all good dudes. You know what I mean? The last time we had was Ben and Noah, and that was
and Ben coming back was sort of drama.
It was drama, but it was
Brendan leaving was kind of drama, but that's the extent of it. That's all the drama we got for the past 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I just I wish it was more for 4 hours, but I get it. We have The Bachelor coming up. I'm excited. They showed the preview. Cannot wait.
Yeah, we'll do The Bachelor.
I don't know how we're gonna manage that with our homoeroticism.
What's our Bachelor plan? Oh, we're gonna try and set up a game.
We will discuss that, yes.
Yeah.
Because we need to figure out how we're going to do that.
Yeah, logistics of it could be difficult.
Yeah, it could be really. I am not counting my fingers, but
yeah, it could be difficult.
But we will keep everyone in the loop on that.
We will, no, because we have some ideas about how to kind of get all of you guys involved with all the happenings at Reality Wagon. You know, we are gonna try out. I'm gonna go for the Bachelor. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna try out a ton of different branding techniques. It's gonna be my throwing shit at the wall phase, and literally just. And I'm gonna like try out different timings of posting and stuff like that because I want a growth hack. I want us to be bigger.
I would love it too. I think that's why
the effort that we put in and the quality of content that we put out. And listen, let us brag. Fucking, we get 37 episodes of this fucking podcast out.
Fair enough.
We way more than.
No,
maybe not.
It was
maybe not. Maybe not. I think I saw it on the Simplecast like today. It was like
no, it must not because we had 2 a week for Big Brother, 12 weeks of that, 24, 10, 11 weeks. So we're at like 35.
Something like that.
And also, I'm trying to contact the people like on like the subreddits and like different like mods so we can actually get approval and not get our things
That'd be great.
deleted.
That'd be great. Really hard to advertise ourselves if we keep getting deleted for advertising. But it's supposed to be subliminal. We all do subliminal stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and try everything. I'm going to see what I can do. Maybe we can try. I'm going to see if I can get contact with some former contestants from certain shows, see what I can do. Maybe the Bachelorette and Bachelor are a little tough because like that's I don't have a ton of experience in that.
It's also kind of hard to talk about because it's so emotional, whereas Big Brother, it's kind of more fun.
Big Brother, I could go and contact the first 4 people eliminated and just have a blast with those interviews.
Dude, I want...
Also because I love interviewing. I actually really do like doing it.
I want David.
I bet we could fucking get him.
Like, yo, David.
It's something where we can figure it out. Like a lot of the Bachelor and a lot of the Big Brother podcasts and stuff like that, like they all run out on their they're not even that big. There aren't that many very big ones.
No.
Like we're probably in a somewhat decently high percentile of Big Brother podcasts.
Well, because a lot of them just get 0 views. We started
like
at least,
a lot of them get 0 views.
We at least started out with your thing to branch off of Reality Wagon.
Yep.
That you kind of built. You did build actually, and so. I think we'll figure out all of our branding stuff. I think we're just gonna throw caution to the wind and basically do whatever we feel like trying.
We're gonna figure it out. But if you have any suggestions or if any of you guys fucking just get in touch with me, like I'd be really interested to see if there are any ideas or any concepts. I definitely do want to blow this out a little more. I'm gonna go harder. My motivation's back. Motivation was lacking there for a couple weeks where I was like not because I do like doing this, but also just like. My promoting it might have slipped a couple days.
Right.
Like putting out my Twitter copy, putting out my Instagram posts, stuff like that. Like just like kind of fell off. It's very time consuming to do all of that stuff. It's really there's a lot of thought that goes into creating all those posts to try and drum up engagement. And then when something that kind of like flops or whatever, or doesn't really get what you're looking for,
we'll probably also try because we have our podcast app that can be on the go.
Yeah,
we'll probably give that a shot.
Yeah, no, times. I think we're gonna go ahead and listen. We're not going anywhere, right? We're gonna take about a 2-week break because the reality TV gods have granted that.
Can you believe
us.
We haven't missed a? We also doubled up the first week of Bachelorette with Big Brother. I had 2. Can you believe we have consistently done this for 24 weeks?
Actually, what did you take 1 week off?
I took 1 week off because I was in a different state.
No, but that's I'm just saying like you took 1 week off. I haven't taken a single week off in 24 weeks.
And it wasn't even a week. I took off 1 podcast.
No, I know. I think you were even here. I think you were even here for one of them.
Yeah, I was.
Like you were here for like a whatever.
The Monday one, right?
Or we recorded on sometimes Sunday or Monday, depending on where we watched or who we watched with or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we record on Thursday night after the Thursday night episode of Big Brother. So like. That was our tactic the whole time. We recorded 2 podcasts a week. That was at least 2 hours. It was often close to 3. I'd be very interested. I'm going to do a little bit of tabulation when I go home because I think I can see it on the Simplecast is how many hours of content we've created. Raw actual content.
I mean, probably over 40 hours. I'd have to imagine.
More than that.
Well, we only have 34 podcasts.
Music Discovery Club.
That actually, and some of those were 2 hours.
2-hour podcast.
Oh, I mean, one of them was 3. I mean.
Yeah. Brendan's was almost 3 hours. Yeah.
Our video thank God we got a camcorder.
Jesus Christ, yeah. But yeah, so we're not going anywhere. This is literally it's one of the most fulfilling things that I do all the time. I hope it feels the same way for you.
Yeah.
It feels great to just.
I was saying it was weird that it's been half a year.
Yeah. You know what? It's weird that I started this right at the beginning of quarantine. I started Reality Wagon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was originally Watch of Love.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, it was Watch of Love, and I was just watching Bret Michaels' Rock of Love series and live tweeting every episode. But like live tweeting, but like, and then I made like a small group of friends through that. Shout out Shade Palace. You guys are killing it right now. Love you guys so much. Zac and Sid, keep up the good work. We'll get in touch soon because I do want to collab on something. That's another tactic of mine is I want to figure out a way we can collaborate with some people and just get this more like grow a community a little more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, so started doing that in March. Here we are, second season of TV down. Second season, 2 seasons down. We'll have The Bachelor that'll start up soon. I've been watching The Challenge. I think you've been watching The Challenge too.
I watched the first episode, then I kind of fell off.
They only had 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the second episode was
I thought
last
it was
week.
multi-week. Is it just once a week?
Once a week.
Oh, okay. Then
Once a week for like an hour and a half or something like that, 90 minutes.
Yeah. Seemed about.
It's Challenge is great. It's not really podcast worthy. I don't think there's a whole lot of
It's
stuff.
so
in there.
hard to do it
And
with
the
that.
lore behind The Challenge is insane.
Is it because of everyone comes from like a different like thing?
They all come from Real World. A lot of them come from Real World, which is a reality show from like the early 2000s.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of it?
Oh.
They would just take a whole bunch of people from random cities and stuff and put them in a house. It was basically like, have you seen like Floribama Shore?
Mm-mm.
Or like Jersey Shore?
I've seen Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore, they all get like, when they would go to like a different like city or whatever, they would all get like jobs.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
Oh.
But they would just take a whole bunch of people from like random cities and just like bring them in. Like they did a Real World Boston and stuff like that. And there's like
so weird.
dozens of seasons. And so many of these people are so old that are on the challenge now, but they've been on the challenge for like 15 years and stuff like that.
Do you keep the winners?
No, they bring people back all the time.
Oh, okay. That makes
like
sense.
There are a few people that have won a lot. Some people who have been on like 10 years and never won. Stuff like that. It's a fun show, but there's way too much in there where like I haven't even been watching long enough. They're on season 36. Like I'm not going back and I'm not watching it to figure out all the drama and shit. That being said, I do want to wrap this up before the hour because then we can say it will be our shortest podcast of the season, but I've got 2.5 minutes to go.
Correct. You can do it.
Thank you as always for watching and listening because we're up on YouTube now. Go ahead and watch us on YouTube. This episode, the season finale of the Reality Wagon Bachelorette podcast. It's been a blast as always. If you want to engage with us, we're on Twitter. We are on Instagram at Reality Wagon. I am very active on both. Please tweet at me. Shoot me a DM on either. We'll put up some posts. We'll put up some branded posts about this podcast. We'll have some stuff going in the future. Like I said, stay tuned with us because we've got some fun ideas that I think we could, if we can find a way to materialize, are going to be huge and they're going to be very, very fun for us. We also have another podcast. We have Music Discovery Club.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming back soon too because we're going to try and get some more work on that one. That's our music album review one. That's a fun one. You can go ahead and listen to this podcast on a few different platforms. You can listen to us on iTunes, where you can subscribe. You can go ahead and leave us a comment, leave us a rate. Those are really cool. We really do like them. And I know I say it all the time. We don't get a whole lot of them, but if you can find it in your heart to do it, it helps us out a lot. On Spotify, you can tell us to follow. You get automatic download to your device just as a subscribe one on iTunes. On YouTube, we are at ANMC Studios. That's Aaron, Nancy, Michael, Charles Studios on YouTube. For that one, toss us a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of our uploads. We do all of our uploads for all of our different podcast outlets on that same channel. So it's our podcast studio channel. It's everything is lumped up underneath that. So definitely go in there. This will be the first complete anthology that we will have completed on YouTube.
Yes, that is true.
Start to finish. Premiere, finale, all done. YouTube, uploaded. Not even that many technical difficulties.
Not that much. I mean, it'll get smoother as we go along.
Yep.
So,
but as we race against time, it's time that we go ahead and say not goodbye, but see you soon. Do you have any parting words?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you in a couple weeks. But thank you so much again for watching, listening, absorbing this episode of the Reality Wagon Bachelorette podcast. My name is Anthony.
And my name is Andrew.
And we'll talk to you guys soon.